Hello, love bugs. I'm so excited to share with you that not only are there big changes coming to Palia, but they're coming on the 28th of May. That is literally next week. I am so excited about so many changes that are coming, but I want to talk to you about some of the ones that we already publicly know are changing so that you can be prepared for how especially our economy in Palia is changing. So let's get into it. I want to start right off by literally saying exactly what the team said in the dev update, which is something we value a lot for Palia is allowing players to play how you want to play. We also want Palians to feel that your time spent in the game is properly rewarded no matter what activity you engage in. It's something we think we missed the mark with initially and have spent a lot of time evaluating changes that can be seen as positive improvements across the board. A lot of our changes will be focused on improving several areas when it comes to gold earned and also gold spent. Now, if you have been with Palia for a long time or since the beginning like me, you know that the economy has changed in the game a lot. In some ways changed for the better, in some ways some people think would change for the worse. But an example that I can think of that comes directly to mind is the cake parties. So if you're newer to Palia, you might not know what I'm talking about, but it used to be that celebration cakes, which they still are, were a very valuable thing for you to make with your friends and then sell to make money in Palia. Unfortunately, they were astronomically better to make you money in the game than anything else in the game, which led to players pretty much just wanting to constantly do cake parties anytime they needed gold, which meant we weren't fishing, we weren't hitting rocks, we weren't doing any of the other things in the game. And for players who didn't like doing cake parties, it was really frustrating that we couldn't make the money that we wanted to make in any other way in the game. So the developers decided to nerf the cake parties, which made a lot of people upset because it's so hard to earn gold in game, but they've been slowly working to try and make it better to earn gold overall. And I think that this update is going to be the one that does it. So let's talk about what they've told us. We know that mining 100% is getting nerfed. So if you are currently sitting on a whole hoard of stones that you have been saving to make yourself some money or as like an extra bonus savings account in your inventory, if you are not at gold cap, I highly recommend you selling them now. I really think that that is going to be one of the things that's changing, because if you tell me that mining is getting a nerf, I immediately think that star stones, which are the thing that we make money with in mining, are definitely going to be worth less than they're worth now. Now, I don't know this is a fact. It is not publicly posted, but I am assuming that this is something that is happening. Now, we don't know exactly how much it's being nerfed, and I could be wrong. Maybe we'll find out that the way that it's being nerfed is by the number of silver or gold that you get or something like that. But I just can't imagine them nerfing mining or saying, and I quote, mining will be tuned down and not be talking about star stones. That being said, everything else seems to be getting a buff. So our foraging is going to be getting a buff. Fishing is going to be getting a buff. Hunting is going to be getting a buff to try and make it so that gold isn't so difficult to get every time we are going hunting for it, which I think we all really want. Another thing that I have thought was unbalanced for a long time in the game was how much gold we got from quests and things, especially when all we got was focus or gold from the quest. And then we would only get like 400, 600 gold. And I was like, that was barely worth all the work that I did for this quest. So they are going to be upping not only the gold we get from that, but also the gold that we get from treasure chests. And they're also majorly reducing the craft time for buildings, which, oh my gosh, talk about a thing that we all need. Not that that has a lot to do with gold, but I think a lot of our gold that we spend, at least if you're a decorator like me, ends up being directly on buildings and making new plots and whatnot. And then it sucks when you are in the design mood and you buy yourself a couple of different rooms, and then it takes like 6 hours for them to build. Well, by the time all of my stuff is built, I can't play anymore. I have to go to bed or I have to go work or whatever the case may be. So I'm really excited for that change as well. Another thing that we have been in desperate need of to change in the game are the gold caps and the renown caps. While gold can be hard to get, if you are an active player playing all the time and maybe you don't decorate a whole ton like some of us do, you can hit gold cap pretty quickly. And even with working hard to hit gold cap, you can spend that gold cap really quickly, especially when there's an event or something that you're trying to save up for. If you know an event is coming up and you want to spend a lot of money on different things, like for example, when the Magi Market comes back, whenever Delilah has those lanterns again, I'm going to be spending 300,000 gold on just those lanterns. Just you watch me. And it's going to be really bummy if I can't save up enough gold over that upcoming month in order to make that happen. So they are going to be changing that. And then a lot of us have been at renown cap for a really long time. So we've been doing quests and getting renown for finishing those quests, but the renown just disappears because we have nothing to spend it on and nothing to use it for. So I'm just really excited that they are expanding that cap, because even though we don't have anything to spend on it right now, that might change in the future, and that way we won't feel like we just missed out on all of the renown from all of our quests and things that we've been doing even though we're already at cap. Flow trees are also something that's changing in the game. Flow trees are now going to... Ooh, hello, excuse me. Oh, rude. Flow trees are now going to drop more flow infused wood than ever, which is very exciting. Oh, you all just jumped up there for me to just knock you back down again. Well, hello. Aren't you cute though? I mean, this is kind of a silly silly glitch, but it's giving me a giggle. I hope it gives you one too. But also we are going to be getting a new resource item to get us money from chopping trees, which is amber. Now, we don't know much about amber. They haven't told us how it's going to work. They haven't told us how much it's going to be worth or how we're going to use it. Is there starred amber so I can place it in my house? Does it have little fossils in it? Does it look like it came from Jurassic Park? Because that would be pretty cool. But it is going to have a chance to spawn whenever you're chopping trees. So for those of us running around doing tree farming parties, it will allow us to get more flow wood and just regular wood that we need for all of the chaos that the things that we build in the game. I got distracted by that glittery chopper there. But it will also give us a chance to make some money while we're doing it too. So just another way for us to be making gold in the game that we didn't have before. About 85% of our workbench recipes are now going to have reduced requirements. That is just crazy to me, because we all know that some of the items that we have to make using 40 flow wood for them and stuff, it is frustrating. It is rough decorating with some of those really big items, especially if like 10 of the things that you want to use all use flow wood. You can run out in a minute. I'll feel like I'm super full of flow, and then I'll just decorate one room and boom, I am right back down to zero again, even though I spent days filling up. So I'm really glad that that is a big change happening for us, which is just going to make overall playing of the game more fun. And they have officially confirmed that the sell value for many uncommon, rare, and legendary items is going to increase for most skills, which is really exciting. We know that mining is getting a nerf, but hopefully that means if we're running around and catching rare bugs, even when we see one that's not starred and we think, oh, do I really need that or not, we will want it, because we're actually going to be making some decent money from it. Decent money again from doing our honey lures and things as well. So I'm just overall really excited. So let's talk about just a couple of things that I think you should do to prepare for this update. First off, I already mentioned it. If you are a miner who has been hanging on to all of your star stones, it's time to sell. If you're not at gold cap, I would sell them now. Again, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. They could be worth the exact same money as of Tuesday, and what's nerfed could be iron and gold and the value of pallium. I have no idea, but just using my personal brain gamer experience tells me if mining is getting nerfed, star stones are getting nerfed. So if you've been holding them on as a type of savings account, I highly recommend selling them before Tuesday. Now, on the opposite side of things, if you typically go home and you sell all of your items from catching bugs, and you just sell any non-starred bug, or maybe you sell every bug that you catch, I would maybe recommend holding on to your bugs and holding on to your fish. Maybe you're planning on going fishing this weekend to try and get some of your fishing achievements done. I would maybe hold on to those items and wait for Tuesday and then sell them then. Now, if you're not at gold cap, what I would recommend you do this weekend is mining, because we know it's getting a nerf after Tuesday. We don't know what that nerf is going to look like. It could be less stones dropping, which would also really suck. So if you've been trying to get all of your really rare gemstones and you haven't gotten them all, like me not being able to get my stinking starred ruby, like, because it just absolutely is hiding from me, I'm starting to believe that my game is broken and it doesn't exist. I would highly recommend going around and mining, because again, we just don't know what the nerf is going to look like for mining. And if you're still trying to get all of those items, you want to get them now. And if mining does really get nerfed after this next week, you might not be wanting to mine as much as you used to, and you might go around hitting trees trying to get the new amber, or trying to get more flowwood, or who knows what else is going to be happening in the game that they haven't even announced yet. So I would recommend doing mining this weekend and saving your hunting and fishing and everything else for after the nerf. Hunting is also an excellent way to earn gold, but like I said before, if you are planning to go hunting this weekend, maybe you're still trying to get all of your plushies from... Oh, really? I scare it every time. Maybe you're still trying to hunt down all of your plushies, but I highly recommend if you do go hunting this week, especially if you get any rare items, I would recommend holding on to them to sell after the update. So don't sell them right away. If you can hold them in your inventory, do it. If you can't hold them in your inventory, then you got to do what you got to do. But I would recommend at least holding on to any of the rare items that you get, since they specifically said that rare legendary items are going to have higher value. I would assume that means hunting items too, and I would just wait until Tuesday to sell them to get yourself that big payday. We know we are going to need a lot of gold for this update. If you are low on gold, your main priority this weekend should be doing things to make yourself money. We don't know how much the harvest house is going to cost, the bigger harvest house, but I'm assuming it's going to be quite a bit. We also know that the building blocks are coming. I don't know how much those ones are going to cost, but I am also assuming that it is going to cost us money. We have the new pavers coming, which probably won't cost money. I'm guessing they're going to be more materials, but they're probably going to be recipes that we're going to have to buy from somebody, right? Like, that just makes sense to me. Generally, we have to buy those things from City Hall or from Tish or somebody like that. So I would assume that we are definitely going to need ourselves some moolah for this upcoming event. So anyway, last but not least, I will see you all at the hot pot tables. And of course, I'm going to do a huge stream on Tuesday on Twitch to celebrate this entire launch that I'm super, super excited about. Okay, I love you. I got to go make some gold. Bye!